new.
It was a catalyst. It was a catalyst for the final illusion that we're alone, to show us just how powerful we are.
Absolutely, and then I think that was critical in bringing back the Tea Parties. And yes, I would like to think, I really do think that we are on the cusp of reasserting our power and moving forward. But we've got to do it in a very careful, organized way.
And we've got to never stop, and we've got to realize it's life and death. I want to play a clip of a congressman, Congressman King, talking about Obama's birth certificate. As we go to break, we're going to come back and play the Kagan clip of her saying, yes, the government can have laws on the books to ban books. But here's the birth certificate issue coming up.
For their $44,000, that's their share of the national debt. A little baby with ink on their foot, stamped right there on the birth certificate. There's one in this country we haven't seen, but the footprint on those we have seen, those little babies. Oh, Uncle Sam, $44,000.
Regardless of whether he was born in Hawaii or not, and it tends, the way they're acting, it looks like Kenya, and his grandmother does say it. We know he was an Indonesian citizen, and we know that he had to give up his citizenship to do that, and we know his real name's Barry Soetoro. What are we doing having a president who we can't even figure out his real name? I mean, I think that was done by design to set a precedent.
Hey, Alex, the president is part of the enactment of laws. Congress comes along and passes laws. It doesn't become a law, unless there's a overriding of a veto or, he doesn't take any action. But he signs off on this legislation. And by his signature on legislation, it becomes a law. If we ultimately can prove, and I believe that Barry Soetoro is not an American citizen, that then becomes an unconstitutional act, and it has an effect upon every bit of legislation at the federal level. And that may very well be, and that's the reason why, a lot of these people come along and say, you don't need to be talking about the birth certificate issue. To me, it's real important because it has an effect upon the legitimacy of the federal government. If we have somebody that doesn't exercise, is not a lawful occupant of the office, and yet he's participating in enacting laws,
everything else is a fraud. Larry B. Craft, stay there. Search his name, Larry B. Craft, for his website.
Don't answer it.
If fear strikes your heart when the phone rings, knowing it may be another bill collector, it's time for you to call Zero Debt in 90 days. 800-477-9256. Settlements, bankruptcy, and attorneys are not the answer and may end up costing you up to 10 times more than necessary. Listen, if you're already in debt, does it make sense to get buried in another payment plan? Zero Debt in 90 days gets you out of debt in 90 days guaranteed, without a payment plan and without attorneys or going to court. Get the fastest relief from debt on the planet when you call 800-477-9256. If you have debt with the IRS, credit cards, student loans, or a foreclosure, we can help at Zero Debt in 90 days, and we are the only organization to provide written guarantees on the results. Go to ZeroDebtGuaranteed.com. That's ZeroDebtGuaranteed.com. Or call now for free information. 800-477-9256. That's 800-477-9256.
The question is, where should the American people draw their line in the sand?
What have we got? A republic or a monarchy?
A republic is based on a constitution which protects minority rights.
Not democracy, not mob rule, two wolves and a sheep voting on what's for dinner.
So they think they own our land, they think they own our water, children, our education, our money.
We have to define who we are and what we will tolerate.
Somebody's going to ask you what you did during the Patriot Uprising.
You have been warned.
We have the facts. We have the Constitution. We have the Bill of Rights. We have common law. Knowledge is power, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm so excited to be able to offer you Don't Tread on Me, Rise of the Republic. Tyranny is upon us, but liberty and the sleeping giant that is the American people is rising. A new tool in the info war. Don't Tread on Me. Order it at Infowars.com or PrisonPlanet.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139 and support independent, patriotic Liberty Films.
How well and how fast does Heart and Body Extract work to improve blood circulation? Listen.
My name is Ellis, and I am 66 years old, and I live in Jacksonville, Florida. 2 years ago, I was diagnosed as having clogged arteries. I had 70% blockage in one artery leading to my heart. They wanted me to go on Plavix, but I refused, knowing the negative side effects.
Heart and Body Extract is a unique balance, synergy, and proportion of herbs reaching from head to toe at maximum absorption around 95% at the cellular level.
Within the first month, I felt a dramatic difference. The heaviness in my legs was reduced, and within 2 months, I felt completely normal.
Your natural organic herbal formula for heart health is Heart and Body Extract. Heart and Body Extract comes with a 100% ironclad money-back guarantee. Details at hbextract.com or call 866-295-5305 for Heart and Body Extract. Call 866-295-5305, 866-295-5305 for Heart and Body Extract.
Tropical storm Alex is forecast to become a hurricane in the next day and to make landfall the next day and a half. It is going to push a lot of oil out of the Gulf that's out in the middle of the Gulf into the Gulf states in the U.S., and Obama is doing everything he can to block the response of this. This is high treason. This is terrorism. He's on record blocking oil skimming ships, one that's from Taiwan that can get 500,000 gallons a day. I mean, this is amazing. And it's all being blocked so that it's the biggest disaster possible so we can get the carbon tax. Don't let a good crisis go to waste. This is high treason. We'll be covering it more tomorrow. Larry Becraft's our guest, but I wanted to play this from the Supreme Court with Elena Kagan, a Solicitor General, before them, arguing that the government can have it on the books that they can ban books. Here it is.
If Congress could say no TV and radio ads, could it also say no newspaper ads, no campaign biographies?
The government's view is that although 441B does cover full-length books, that there would be a quite good as-applied challenge to any attempt to apply 441B in that context. And I should say that the FEC has never applied 441B in that context. So for 60 years, a book has never been at issue.
What happened to the overbreadth doctrine? I mean, I thought our doctrine in the First Amendment is if you write it too broadly, we're not going to pare it back to the point where it's constitutional. If it's overbroad, it's invalid. What happened to that?
I don't think that it would be substantially overbroad, Justice Scalia, if I tell you that the FEC has never applied this statute to a book. To say that it doesn't apply to books is to take off, essentially nothing from
we don't put our First Amendment rights in the hands of FEC bureaucrats.
Well, what if the particular movie involved here had not been distributed?
And of course, the federal government tried to stop a movie about Hillary Clinton that was critical of her, and they did stop it, saying that it criticized her, so it was bad. That's what campaign finance reform is. Restrict our free speech, let offshore corporations give even more money. Here's Bloomberg. Banks financing Mexico gangs admitted in Wells Fargo deal. We'll cover this more tomorrow. Bank of America, Wachovia, others just laundering drug money knowingly. Well, of course, that's why they keep drugs illegal, to keep the price up. But, I mean, Larry Becraft, they're now moving into books. They're now moving into speech. And here she is saying the bureaucrats should be able to decide if you can write a book or not. I mean, this woman's a monster.
I don't disagree with you at all, but what she's saying there, she has the mindset. She sat down and wrote two law review articles that are similar in nature with the same philosophy. You know that philosophy embeds, is the heart.
She says, I get to decide. She says, I'm a good person in her law review, and I'll decide. You can trust me with the power.
Why would you trust a bureaucrat with anything?
Well, I mean, this is insane. In our system of government, we trust no one with power that's unconstitutional.
You got that hit the nail on the head. Hey, we've got to get the word out on Elena Kagan. I don't know whether we're going to have any impact, but let me just tell you, everything that you've done, Alex, is going to is quantum leaps in the direction we need to go, and I want to thank you for that.
Well, Larry Becraft, I want to thank you, and I have you back very, very soon to cover more of these issues. God bless you. Just search the term, Becraft Briefs, and that'll find your website for folks that want to check it out. We'll talk to you again very soon. Everybody should call Congress. Thank you, Larry. Take care. We need to call Congress. We need to call governors and have them call Congress. We need to call the media and say, is this the new precedent? I mean, a little monster socialist who believes you can ban books and who believes they can, quote, disappear speech and who doesn't believe in the Second Amendment. I mean, we almost lost our Second Amendment by one vote yesterday. See you back live tomorrow. Good job, crew.
Thank you for listening to GCN. Be sure to visit GCNlive.com today.
Tyranny is here. The grim future foretold in 1984 has become reality.
It really says that the